All right, and welcome to tonight's fascinating planning board meeting for the town of Norfolk. In accordance with the provisions of MGL Chapter 30A, Section 20, notice is hereby given that the planning board will meet on Tuesday, May 12, 2026 at 7 p.m. in Town Hall Meeting Room 124. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in person at 1 Liberty Lane, Norfolk, Mass., or by the remote Zoom connection provided. Please note that in-person meeting will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the remote connection. Now, we do have the entire board here in person, so we will do a quick roll call vote. Melissa Mayo?
Here.
Dan Ziegler?
Here.
Chris Modfort? Aye. Gary Sullivan?
Here.
And Allery Braish, our newest member.
Here.
All right. So first point of order is the board reorganization, now that we have a new member. So positions up for reorganization are chair, vice chair, and clerk. So we can start with the chair. Do we have anybody looking to continue or go for chair position? Or any nominations for such?
You would continue.
I'm just putting it out there. Anybody else want to do the chair position? If not, I'm willing to continue.
Wow. I said wow.
Wow.
Wow. That he's willing to continue, or wow that nobody's jumping up and down?
Everybody's jumping.
So what's the,
Procedure would be nominations, and then acceptance, and then voting, and then we go from there.
Okay. Well, I nominate Chris Montfort for chair for another year.
All right, any other nominations? Hearing none, I'll accept. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? All right, hearing none, we will move to the position of vice chair. I would like to nominate you, Gary, to continue in your position.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Would you accept?
I said I was only going to do 1 year, I think, last year, right?
All right.
Does anybody else want to be, you two have had some time on the board, Melissa?
I'll nominate Melissa.
I can second that, if she's willing.
I'm willing. You made it through the whole year. I'm proud.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm like,
Why
do I
are you
vote for myself?
All right, and then we do have the position of clerk up as well. You've done an amazing job.
I think in keeping with my understanding of tradition, I'm happy to hand that over and nominate our newest member, Allery, for clerk.
I second that recommendation.
She was actually warned, so.
That's no good.
Yep, I got forewarning, so
Do you accept?
I accept.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so we've got the reorganization complete. Moving on, we have a 7 p.m. 8 Sharon Avenue appointment. This is a request for site plan modifications for change of use from contractor's headquarters to indoor recreation, eliminating the front steps and walkway and modifying the sign to a 4-foot by 4-foot aluminum. Please come on up. Oh, it's not you? I saw the rogue shirt. Damn it.
Yeah.
All right, come on in.
Chris Scleropoulos.
How we doing?
How are you?
So this is a continuation of a discussion from our last meeting.
Yes.
Chris's brother Bill was here and explained the site plan modifications. And I think that you were all okay with that, but wanted to see it on the plan, which I've got displayed here.
This was the baseball indoor rec, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, perfect, awesome.
Yeah, so the plan's been changed to, there'll be a single use. So if you see the description in the middle of the rectangle, which is the building.
Can we zoom in?
Give me 1 second.
Okay, so the recommendation was to provide the use change in there as well. What else did we have?
The parking, the occupancy is going to be tied to the number of parking.
Yep.
So the occupancy, maximum occupancy is 72,
Okay.
which is in the decision for the board to vote on. There is, in the upper right-hand part of the plan, they've added the EV ready charging spots, parking spots. And then on the front side, if you recall, there was a walkway with steps going down to it. That's been removed. Zoom in is what it's like a bluestone, right? This doors are still there, but there's no walkway in front any longer.
Right, it's just an emergency exit, and the bluestone's supposed to be a landing spot just in case there's an emergency and people have to go out there. That way they're not trudging through the landscaping.
That's right.
That you have the plantings in the front there. That was something that I thought of after our meeting last time, was that they would just walk out to this stone. We weren't sure what kind of stone, but that there weren't going to be anything, it wouldn't be decorative out front, but I'm glad the plantings are on there.
I think that helps too with the concern about people dropping people off on the street or trying to pick up on the street.
Right.
That planting will kind of give a natural separation.
Yeah.
Well, in addition to what I put in the draft decision, just to reiterate the point that there is no on-street parking on Sharon's Avenue.
Right. And I think they're doing a good job with, the traffic conveyance through the rear of the building as well. There's no way to enter through the front, so you're stuck walking around the entire building in order to get in anyway, so I don't think people are going to want to drop off in the front.
No, I mean, it's pretty clear. There's a good flow all around the building for entering and exiting.
Okay, and then we've got the sign as well.
Yep.
Do we have a detail sheet on the sign?
There is. Yep.
Is it on this? Let me just take a look.
The bluestone is on the detail sheet too, so.
Okay, here it is. Zoom in a little bit. This typical signpost detail is
In the center there.
right over here.
Yep. And then the bluestone is up in the upper right hand.
So it looks like the sign has a spot for 6 tenants, but this is going to be single use, no?
Yes. But for future, but I'm sure that they'll make just one for now, and then if in the future we change the use, then we'll have enough for 6.
Okay. And if they change the use, you
Oh,
come
yeah,
back?
you have to come
Back
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Not worth making the edit or calling it out at this point.
I don't know.
How big will the single sign for the tenant be? Is that the size for, is he going to have one massive sign, or would it just be one of those spots, or not sure?
Assuming the whole thing, right? Taking the whole
That would be
space.
my preference personally,
Yeah.
especially if I was the tenant.
Right.
Yeah, so whatever,
4 foot by 4
Yeah, they
foot
can
was
do up to
the
12 square
entire
feet.
sign,
They
so-
can do up to 12 square feet per side.
Without a special permit,
Without a
right?
special
Yeah.
permit.
Yeah. Okay. I'm good with that then. Anything else on here we got to review?
Can I ask a question about the plantings? What type of evergreen would you use? Would it be like an arborvitae or a yew? Is it
so
going
right
to be
in the front.
tall or short?
Here, I'll go back to
They're
the,
already in there right now, so we have all the everybody already in here. There.
Okay.
And there's a whole bunch right here.
So it'll be like a screen.
Yeah. Okay. And they're the green giant ones, which they grow pretty big.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions from the board? Any more questions from the audience? All right. Hearing none. So we need a motion for approval for the site plan modification for change of use from contractor's headquarters to indoor recreation.
I think you already did that last meeting.
Okay. So we're just doing the decision then?
Just doing the site plan
Decision.
modification.
yes.
Where's the
Which
decision?
is, let me see if I can pull up the decision.
Is it in the,
It's in the shared drive.
It is,
killing me?
and I can, it's, the
We don't wanna do that.
5/12/26, 8 Sharon's Ave minor modification. So the minor modification would be to allow the maximum actual occupancy be limited to 72 persons. Off-site parking is okay, all right, these are the conditions.
I guess technically it's not a apostrophe, I guess, huh?
Do we not,
Is it apostrophe, not apostrophe?
persons?
No, Sharon?
Oh, Sharon, I think it's Sharon.
We go through this every time we have a project over
I think
there.
it's Sharon.
Well, I have both
Ave.
options in there, so.
Oh, Lord.
I think it's
I think
officially
you're covering it.
officially Sharon's with no apostrophe.
I thought it was Sharon.
I think it
I
depends
know
what
it's
you're
not
looking
Sharon.
at.
It's definitely not
Not
Sharon.
Sharon?
There's definitely an S, and the question's always whether or not there's an apostrophe in it. And I think we have it without an apostrophe most often.
All right, so we'll just take that right out there, that little.
Wait,
Oh.
Sharon doesn't own it.
Now we gotta change the clerk and everything, oh boy.
That's okay.
Isn't that not effective until the next meeting? Board reassignment?
No, I think it's effective
No, it's
immediately.
real,
On the vote.
today. We'll edit it.
Okay.
All right, so,
So looking for a motion for site plan approval for 8 Sharon Ave.
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, hearing none, motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you. You too.
Hey, Chris, have a good night.
Bye.
All right, we've got 4 minutes to 7:15. Why don't we did that.
we could do, is it on here? Yeah, where is it? Oh, there, 11, right?
11 Shire Drive.
Yeah, 11 Shire. Everything's been complete, 11 Shire. So like to have a motion from the board to recommend to the building commissioner issuance of a permanent certificate of
What was left?
occupancy.
All the shires blend together.
Yeah.
There's a couple.
Mike, do you remember what
you remember
was
off the top
remaining
Yeah,
from,
there was,
Hold on. Let's get a microphone. Introduce yourself.
It's just for the,
For viewers at home.
yeah, Mike Spiegel, owner of 11 Shire. There was just some minor issues with the site itself. There was some debris in the back corner that was actually construction material from 9 Shire. That's moved. I had to lay mulch in the bioretention area. In the plantings, we originally planted them last June. It was a tough time of year to plant, and a lot of the plants didn't take. So I replanted all the plantings. So all the new plantings are in. We laid mulch in the bioretention area, cleaned up the whole site. They wanted the swale mowed down, mowed all that down. One of the manhole covers said drain, and it's not a drain. It was to the septic tank, so it was just labeled incorrectly. We just put a non-labeled cover on that. And I believe that was it for the physical site the site issues. And then there was a certification that the engineer needed to change on the plans, which I believe they did. Not exactly sure what that was. That was kind of the engineer. That was JDE's thing. Josh isn't here tonight. But he said it was all set and submitted.
Okay.
So, and then Beta Group came out, they actually came out yesterday to inspect everything.
Okay. Do I have a report from Beta? They're clear?
We have an email, we don't have the official report because they were.
Would you like to enter that email into record?
Sure.
Thank you.
We will get the report, but I'll enter the email, so.
And then, was there a bond in place? Did we have to have DPW do anything? Okay.
No. So. Other than that, that's it.
All right. Awesome. Any questions from the board?
Nope.
Any questions from the audience online or in person?
nobody online?
All right, perfect. So then, looking for a motion to approve the permanent occupancy for 11 Shire Drive.
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, hearing none, the motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this interaction with the Norfolk Planning Board. Please fill the survey on your way out.
He's had,
Least I could do.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
he's had excellent service.
Yes, I have. You guys are actually great. We made it through.
I'll
Awesome.
send an
Thank
email
you so
to the
much.
Building inspector tomorrow.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, that took us to 7:15. All right, so 7:15, public hearing, 90, 92, 96, 100, and 100R Pond Street. This is continued from our April 14th, 2026 meeting. Bring everybody up to speed. This is a modification of the previously approved site plan and stormwater management permit for the proposed construction of the large-scale ground-mounted solar photovoltaic system, including installation of battery storage, equipment pads, electrical service infrastructure, and stormwater management facilities. All right, how we doing?
Towards me?
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Awesome.
So I don't know if you had a chance to see the battery forum we had in town on Thursday, but it went over really well. I think there was a decent turnout. I recognize a few of you being there in person, but I don't know if you got a chance to catch that on cable or the recorded presentation. But I think we were able to answer as many questions as came our way on battery storage, and there's not very much outstanding. The chief wanted us to get a third-party review of our emergency response plan. We got that. Everything was satisfied to Jensen and Hughes' liking, but we've still made a commitment to follow the new National Electric Code that hasn't been adopted yet, but will be adopted, we assume, later this year by the state of Massachusetts, and provide a hazard mitigation analysis for this project. So we are going to do that. But we think we are really as far as we can be with this. And, I'd like to answer any questions today, wrap up any outstanding items this week, and hope that in June we can get a vote.
Yeah, I think one question that I definitely had was with regards to the O&Ms, and if at any point we should review or have those reviewed. Typically, we just get them and we file them, and it's put to bed.
Yeah, there was a couple of, I don't know how many months ago now, but at one point I had asked, since the chief was going to have a third-party review, if he could also have them review the O&M to make sure that it was satisfactory.
And it sounds like not the O&Ms are being reviewed, but the emergency action plan is being reviewed, which would be part of the O&M, but only a subset.
Let me just clear up. I think actually that was part of the third-party review.
Okay.
Was a review of the O&M, but let me just...
But that would be consistent with just the battery storage.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Beta did review the full application package, including the O&M, and did comment on it in their review, right, Richard?
Yeah, they did in terms of the site civil related. Yes, they have done that. Are you talking about battery or site?
I'm talking about
both.
Holistically, right?
Yeah.
So like ensuring that preventative maintenance is being performed, ensuring that, what else? That the equipment's, I don't know, mostly it's preventative maintenance, to be honest with you.
Yeah, let me just,
And then with regards to the third-party review, anything from your perspective that kind of came out that you weren't expecting, or did everything kind of seem as expected?
Everything was expected, and I think, generally speaking, they saw everything they needed to see on the first round and had a few outstanding questions. We did not know that a new document called a hazard mitigation analysis was going to be new, was going to be a part of the new National Electric Code. So this will be the first one that we are paying to be conducted. But that's going to be something we're going to have to conduct for every project we do in the state of Massachusetts going forward, it looks like. So, this was a learning experience for us too, and that's great.
Awesome. All right, any questions from the board? From those who did get to attend, any comments with regards to how you perceive the event went, town sentiment afterwards, anything that you've heard or seen since?
It went well. There were 3 non-town hall employees there, so I don't know what the town sentiment is post that. I think a lot of questions were answered. I think, a lot of T's are crossed and I's are dotted at this point, and don't have to like the project, but it kind of meets all the criteria by which it's supposed to.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought that it went well. I thought that the presentations were all, a concise overview that I think addressed most of the questions. I appreciate what NextGrid has done to kind of go above and beyond the requirements on both the open house, the hazard mitigation plan, things like that. I think that the project at this point, in my mind, is such that, you may still have people who, from a policy perspective, don't want to see battery, but the reality is from a zoning perspective, from a jurisdictional perspective, we've done, I think, everything that we can to set a solid precedent moving forward that as these projects come in, which I expect we will see more in the future, we've increased education, we've increased coordination, we've set a framework and a standard for them to meet as part of the review. So I think from that perspective, especially Rich, Betsy, Rob Garrity, the town employees, I think everybody's done a really good job to get this to where it is now.
And I thought Code Red did an amazing job. It was unclear to some folks that were there who paid for them to be there. And so I think it helped knowing that they were the independent third party that the town actually paid for to look at everything. And, they have no skin in the game. So that was really helpful from kind of an industry perspective, battery technology perspective, and just that they were unbiased and there to, give the presentation. I thought there would be more questions at the event, and there really weren't many.
Okay. Unofficial social media coordinator hat on, how's the sentiment been online?
A lot of the people online didn't go to the forum.
Did they have any comments or review it afterwards, or haven't seen much?
That I don't know. There was some follow-up from another board member with some outstanding questions that I forwarded along to Rich, but it was things that were outside of our purview.
Got it. Okay. All right, cool. Any questions from anyone online or in the audience?
I think the nice thing about Code Red is kind of it took people through the process, right? So walked through the permitting process, which I think was helpful, right? There's that kind of integrated permitting process. There's from the planning board all the way down through inspectional and how the fire department role plays in it. So
yeah, it'd be good to, if they have any materials that we can kind of serve on our website as part.
So it's already done. Great. Go to the Town of Norfolk website.
Thank you, Betsy.
The angle was weird. I thought she was flipping you the bird.
Yeah, so under the planning board, your page, there's a drop down and all the documents associated with this project have been there, which include Code Red's presentation. We just got that, so that's available. And actually, there was another, you attended a workshop, Code Red, actually one of the colleagues who they talked about, there's a presentation there as well, which was the Mass Association.
Mass Association.
What's it?
Wasn't MA, Mass Environmental Health Officers.
So that presentation there as well, so.
Great. There was I like the way they explained, very, very high level Code Red. Jay, right? Jay was his name?
Jay, yeah.
He explained solar being similar to 40Bs, MBTA zoning, and I was like, that makes perfect sense. You know, these are all things that, they come from the state. They're not local zoning initiatives. I thought that was a really good way to kind of present it for folks to understand if they do watch it back. Because there's always confusion with what's actually locally zoned and regulated versus what the state says we have to do. I thought that was a really good explanation.
Awesome, cool. I'm glad to hear that it's up. Love that. That's awesome. Great speed to action there.
Yeah, we talked to Rob too today about maybe putting something on the town homepage, because I had people not quite sure how to navigate the website, where to find the information. But putting something on the homepage that will link them to the page that I created.
Yeah. We should have a link for education, right? And it could be linked off of that or something.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a website designer, so I'll let somebody who knows better than me.
Rob had an idea too, which isn't specifically about this, but it does pertain to this project. Major projects in town.
Yeah.
Having something there so you can go and see, and so then we just need some sort of criteria for what's major.
Sure. Well, we have a few big ones going on.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Please share the feedback.
Yeah, no. So I think at this point, there's an eye towards preparing conditions with a decision for the June meeting.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you're looking for a motion for continuance to June?
Yes, that would be wonderful.
All right, so I'm looking for a motion to continue the 90, 92, 96, 100, and 100R Pond Street modification of the previously approved site plan to our June 9th meeting at
Stick to the 7:15.
7:15 p.m.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion's passed. We will see you on June 9th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we've got a couple of minutes. Do we want to review and approve the 4/14/2026 meeting minutes? Ellie? I'm sure Dan will help you walk through it.
I'll take the
5 minutes
first.
she's been clerk.
I'll take the first one and she can get through here. So the meeting minutes for the April, what was that?
14th.
Last one, April 14th meeting are in the packet. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, or edits?
No.
They look great.
Some of the best meeting minutes I've seen.
Good. Well, in that case, we'll take a motion to approve the April
14th.
14th, 2026 meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor of the approval of the minutes? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Great.
All right, awesome.
There's a perfect framework for you. Just actually remember the date. I'm like, one sentence.
That's okay. I'm always here to help. I'm always here to lend a hand.
Hey, Rich.
Yes.
Got any other updates?
Yeah, we do.
I'm trying to look for the small agenda items.
Oh, small.
Yeah, any other updates? That seems small, but it could be a can of worms.
Well, we're good.
So we'll reserve that one for later then.
We have one.
No, I mean,
You looked at Betsy, that means there's more in there.
Are we talking about the big project?
no. So 7:30 is going to continue, by the way. So you're going to have,
Oh, yeah.
ton of dead
Okay, so we
time.
actually have a little time.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we just go for like another 30 seconds, we'll probably be good.
You can bang out some of these things.
Why are they continuing? Just out of curiosity. I just want this off the ledger.
I'd like
talk
to
about
delay it as long as possible.
I just
All
don't
right, so
want to
there's
talk
no,
about pickleball anymore.
I'll just color in the curiosity that you have.
Yeah, that'd be great.
The Stephen Lee, Beta, peer review consultant, has been away, is still away
Okay.
till May 18th. So in terms of getting back to go over the response to comments from the last meeting. He's not available to do that,
Good.
so.
That makes sense.
Which we just received yesterday, so.
Yeah, so we just got those back.
Okay. Thank you.
So Stephen at Beta
Yes.
Stephen at
is
Beta.
not available.
No.
We hired Beta, not Stephen, though.
Right. Stephen Lee, who works for Beta Group, is on vacation.
I get that, but
But
I mean,
it's-
there's a Rich, there's others.
Oh, the others.
At Beta that could
It's
also.
not gonna make a it wouldn't have made a
It's not
difference.
like
For one day, but.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Okay.
it wasn't mission critical to any timeline, so it was okay for
Right.
the town
Right.
on side
My
of it.
mental health at stake.
What's that?
What, do you need to play pickleball?
No, the pickleball just needs to be off of this plane. Like, I never want to see it on the agenda
Play
again.
pickleball.
It's
Gary's
like,
still
we're on year
upset
like
because it's
3.
no
I just,
longer-
no
Oh,
more
it's no
pickle.
longer a skate park?
No longer a skate park.
I'm
He would
still,
like to
this
stop
is
being
beyond the
reminded.
skate park issue. I've come to grips with that.
So you want,
Sure, I don't
You wanna-
know.
yeah.
I don't think you.
Just between my time on CPC when this was pitched into now, it's got to be the 3-year mark, and I just want.
Just want to move on.
I'd like to vote on just the ADA improvements and let the pickleball hang.
The people want. You're here as a representative of the people. The people.
I want good fencing that's in place. I want the new shed. I want the existing property to look good and be represented appropriately.
I hear you. I hear you. There's more stuff. There's more stuff in front of CPC for this in the future. So.
All right.
Do you guys want to take a vote to continue that to June 9th? I know you don't want to, but
How could you tell?
Would you?
All right, looking for a motion to continue the 33 Pond Street Recreation Complex site plan approval for construction of pickleball courts and ADA improvements to June 9th, 2026 at 7:30 PM.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? What if we all just opposed it?
I was just thinking that.
Would that just kill it?
yeah.
oppose what?
Like, if we just opposed continuing the meeting?
Oh,
No.
I'm trying to think of...
The residents voted for pickleball.
I hear you.
we have some
Fine.
people
We had some, yeah.
who
I
like
think-
their pickleball.
All right, we got 15 minutes, Rich. Lay it on us.
I think it would be, yeah, all right. 15 minutes.
Or we could do the vote to establish the zoning committee. There's a lot of good detail in there.
That's where I was going next.
All right.
Do that one.
Yeah.
Whoever put this together's got a new template, and I'm digging it.
Oh, which template are you talking?
Well, you know, hey, listen. Trying to step into the new world.
Loving it.
ChatGPT.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, his master plan template?
yeah. Master plan for
I mean.
Zoning committee.
zoning committee.
Zoning committee, I meant, that's what I meant.
So this was kind of just to recap something that the zoning bylaw study committee existed quite some time ago.
Yep.
And then it was sunset, and then, so discussions with Rob, they thought that it would be a worthwhile thing to bring back in terms of looking at the zoning bylaws and make some changes to it. So what I proposed to you is a subcommittee of the planning board, couple members of the planning board. That way we stay under, honestly, the ability to, it'll still be a public body, so it's going to be, it will be posted this meeting, but not necessarily the planning board per se. So 2 members. From that, 1 member that would ask from the ZBA that they would say to designate who would be interested. And then the select board would seek a couple citizens to serve on it. So they would have, or they, I suppose they could put themselves on, but ideally it'd be for them to seek some citizens to serve. But citizens that have, ideally in the capacity that are involved with development from preferably more on the non-residential side of things. Because there's a good amount of work that we're going to be wanting to do in terms of non-residential bylaw work going forward. Maybe somebody has a banking background or something like that, but some people have some background and that would be ideal. I know they exist in Norfolk. They're out there. It'd be nice to have them sit on that committee. And then on the committee, which, not officially, but non-voting would be myself, this position, town administrator, and the building commissioner. So the building commissioner is ready to kind of roll up his sleeves and get involved with doing some zoning changes. He has a pretty big task.
His list?
His list is pretty large. And then there's things that, we'll talk a little bit too about. First and foremost is the solar bylaw. Needs work. And then there's other bylaws too, but the idea is having that subcommittee, so that committee could then work on these changes and then feed into the planning board. So that's kind of the general concept.
Okay. So it's like our own little task force.
Yeah, your own task force. It's really kind of similar to what we did with the B1, because the B1 committee was a subcommittee to the planning board.
Yep.
Does make sense though, because I know you brought us last time some changes that the ZBA wanted to make, and then now the building commissioner has his own list, and then of course we have our list of things that we work on, so it is good just to combine everything so you don't have to keep coming back to each board and back to the building commissioner and being the go-between.
Yeah, some of this meteor zoning that we're going to be talking about, which is on my list, we'll get to a little bit later. I think it would be good to be able to have that kind of committee, kind of vet these things out, kind of flush them out, talk about them, and then bring them to the board. So it's going to be a fluid process. They don't have to just sit in isolation and then come to the board, but kind of a working group, and then we can, ideally bring them back.
This is what we did for B1 zoning.
Yeah, same thing.
My one comment on this is that I think you need some sort of governance within the board, like you're definitely going to need a chair or something like that. I think the breadth of the subject area is so broad that unless you kind of have somebody driving it, it's never going to go anywhere.
Yeah, so that's in membership to appointments. Yeah. The second dot.
What about guardrails? Like, the intent, I think, right, given the purpose in the charter, is to review and,
thank you, Chris.
Continue the work we've been doing on identifying redundancies and things that aren't clear, but like a bad version of that would just be like, here's 800 more bylaws to consider, and then we're just, like less is more, right? Just try to be succinct and not necessarily control for every variable. So I'm not sure if that needs to be a guardrail. We didn't have that like in the B1 zoning committee, but I think that's one of my fears if you're going to look at the entirety of zoning in the town.
I think that becomes our instruction to them once appointed. I think our request is, do a quick study, identify the areas where something needs to change, bring those to us. We decide which ones we want them to dive into and in what order.
Okay.
And then have them come back.
Yeah,
Quick study
Quick study.
on the bylaws.
Yeah. I mean,
relatively speaking, right? Yeah, so
it's only 753 pages.
Here's the kind of the list, if you will, of zoning changes that I think we need to make in some ways, kind of I say that in terms of like the building commissioner, myself, present to the board, like here's what we think, and then kind of can digest a little bit priority-wise too, because I know he's got a big list, but...
So he's coming with a list, you're coming with a list.
Yeah, coming with a list.
We should ask them to come up with a list as well.
I think we could present it to the board as a whole, and then say, all right, then this is what you're going to be working on, and then bring it to the committee, so you have built some guardrails in it from the beginning.
Well, I do want to be careful because it's a volunteer committee, obviously by appointment, but still, I want to make it interesting enough for them to keep their engagement. I don't want it to be like you have to do exactly what we say kind of a thing. I want to make sure that they feel like they have some skin in the game as well. And I think part of that is through giving them the ability to come to us and say, these are the areas where we have concerns, because it provides us another avenue to hear from the citizens of the town as well.
I think I want to backtrack my concerns. I just realized I've sat on two of these committees, one specifically for zoning bylaws, and then one for just holistic overview of bylaws in the town when I was on town government study committee, and we didn't have these problems. So I think autonomy is probably the safer bet, and people are just going to be smart enough to know when and where to opine and submit recommendations.
And I don't doubt that we're not going to find overlap between your area, the building commissioners, and what they come up with as well. And then based off of that, we would be the ones that are setting the priority.
Yeah, it's good. You would be setting as the
Right.
planning board, right?
Yeah. So I think it's safe.
Because you're gonna also know, all right, well, how does this relate to the master plan, right? So.
Right.
like-
Well, it also allows them the opportunity to get intimately involved with the bylaws under their own purview.
Correct, yeah.
I like it. I like what you've documented here with your friend, and your lack of use of M dashes is amazing. You're gonna have to tell me how you did that.
I love M dash.
I hate them.
I use them myself, even when I don't use ChatGPT.
I no longer use them just because people assume
People
it's
don't assume it's
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
So
I've been using it like.
It's like literally one of my first instructions is like no M dashes, no dashes. Kill the rule of 3, because that's the other thing that it does is the rule of 3.
It does do that, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, I was just starting out on AI stuff, so.
Well done.
Yeah. You won't even use Google soon.
All right. So what's the ask here? You want us to vote?
Yeah, vote it, if you might. I just wanted to, so what I did so the one thing in terms of membership, it coincides with your membership on the board. So are you okay with, so for instance, whoever the 2 members, that it's going to coincide with your term on the planning board, as opposed to doing it, on an annual basis? Are you okay with that, you think?
No. So like if you have a 2, like Melissa has a 3-year term now, she would
she'll
stay
be
on
on
for
there
3 years.
Yeah.
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 It makes sense, I think, for, unless there's a reason, or if someone just really doesn't like it, in which case maybe the planning board isn't right.
I thought it was okay, but I just want
Somebody, like, does it for a year and they're like, this is too much, I don't want to do anymore, they can always resign their.
Yeah, you could always,
position on it.
right.
Right, and we're all still here anyway, so
Right.
we can still help each
Yeah.
other out, but
I just want to point
for
that out.
the
That was all.
consistency, yeah.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Any concerns? Any concerns on this side? Okay.
And we're
Right.
also gonna have the master plan captains as well, so I know Rob really likes these subcommittees a lot, he's mentioned a few of them, but just want to make sure we have enough people to actually work on these
I have to say,
subcommittees.
we are short supply of residents. So
Yeah.
it's
Got 11,000 people, right?
Capacity.
Yeah. What's that?
I said, we got, what, 11,000 people in town? I'm sure we'll find people to do it.
Well, I don't think we can assign anything to 1,000 of them, but potentially.
We're gonna draw a lottery.
Anyway,
right.
looking for a vote to establish the zoning committee for the planning board to look at bylaws.
Yeah. So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, and so then in a future meeting, we will nominate and vote. And
Yeah, we'll
talk
do
about
that at the
members.
June meeting.
Okay.
Because at June meeting, there'll be some of the other subcommittees, for instance, Community Preservation Committee member. I don't know what else I have to think about it, but there might be some other ones that you'll need to serve on too, as board members.
I'm willing to finally step down from CPC.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you don't want it?
No, I love it, but if somebody else wants it, that's what I said last year.
You said last
I
year.
think Dan's like, I'm interested. I'm like, well, I have this one thing.
I just
Said I got one thing I gotta finish.
one thing I
was
gotta
actually kinda
finish.
curious.
Was it the-
Did
was
you
it the
finish-
pickleball?
Did you finish it?
Pickleball.
No, but the good news is that, well, hopefully, good news, I guess. Hopefully in June, you could wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm excited. Excited. Yeah.
You might be down for another year.
It really is. It's very. I've said this last year. It's very. Like,
I don't know. I really hope they got their impermeable surface proper.
Yeah, me too.
And their stormwater. We'll have to really review those in depth.
Oh, boy.
All right. Let's see.
So you have 2,
1 minute.
Not even, we're at like 10 seconds.
Do you want us to give a very quick update on the master plan implementation?
Yeah.
Save it.
Yeah. Don't-
Oh, save it?
Yeah, because we're literally like on the precipice of 7:45.
Oh, no,
Yeah, probably
here's the
take that 7
update.
seconds,
Here's the
but-
update.
Go.
We reached out to Ty to see when she was available, and she, I totally didn't even think of this before. Of course, she's busy with town meeting, and she asked if we could meet the week after town meeting, so that's our update.
Awesome.
Oh, that's good.
Still 15 seconds left. Great job.
The shortest update I've ever given.
Well played, well played.
All right.
5 seconds.
Rich, you ready for the golf season?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Good. Glad to hear
All
it.
right, you're good.
All right, 7:45, we have a public hearing for proposed amendments to rules and regulations for subdivision of land and site approval, and an update for the planning board fee schedule. Rich?
So this is a public hearing, so Allery can
Read the notice.
read the notice of hearing.
Motion to waive the reading.
Second.
Do I have
Or waive it for me.
it? We did once.
done that
Once because I started to mess it up.
All those in
Like, we'll throw
favor?
them off.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Aye. Nay.
The motion's passed. All right, what do we got?
All right, so
Rules and regulations.
So it really is just, it's the fee schedule, which you guys had looked at, a few times, quite a long time ago.
I like the one,
Quite a few changes in here, Rich.
yeah.
I
There
can
are.
pull it up too.
We'll share it on the big screen.
I also
We have
noticed
it-
you started using a different font.
Huh?
I also noticed you started using a different font.
In the fee schedule?
Yeah,
That was just, it was what it was before, so
got
I
it.
never changed it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really like the font, but anyway, it's fine.
We can change that.
It's a sans serif.
It can be.
I thought it was a sans serif, but anyway.
Yeah. Much prefer serif for
Okay,
longer text.
So,
There's a little bit of inflation built into these fee changes.
Yeah, so first change you have is the review fees shall be payable to Norfolk Planning Board Review Account. Performance inspections shall be payable to both Planning Board Review Account and Norfolk Inspection Fee Account. That comes out, so now it's just inspections,
shall be payable to the town of Norfolk.
Town of Norfolk.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
the other, the wording that was stricken is, we don't use that, so.
okay. And then in section B, 81P plan, we're going from $200 to $300 for the application fee, and then we're taking away the plan resubmittal at $50 per.
Correct. Yep. And so the way we, 81P, approval not required, are you familiar with approval not required plans?
No.
So under Massachusetts general law, if you have a piece of land that has the required frontage for the district, whatever it is, and it has to be on a public way, way and acceptance prior to subdivision control law that was in effect that is certified by the town as maintained as a public way, or a subdivision that's been laid out by the planning board, you can go before the planning board as an 81P plan. That's the statute reference, 81P, to have the lot lines changed. And so the way we've been processing over the years is just the review by staff, so we kind of reiteratively look at plans. And so we're just making an adjustment to it, so we built in some revisions in there.
Okay. Are we typically seeing 2 revisions? Is that why we're going up to 300? Or is that just like a nice catch-all?
It's a nice catch-all, but no, we've, well, our last one, oh, by the way, I should say this as well. I am authorized as the planning board's agent to endorse an A&R plan, approval not required. So depending on the timing, sometimes I will do that. if there's not a meeting in time, but just for informational purposes, but, no, the last one, I did do a plan, changed 3 times.
So are we shooting ourselves in the financial foot by not keeping that $50 per submittal?
Administratively, it works pretty well for us to just charge one fee, but we could do revisions if you...
That's sort of my question, because we do that in a couple places here. Like, have you played this out a little bit with some previous examples to make sure that we're not actually giving up money in the long run?
Real money? Yeah.
Well, as far as the A&R plan goes, we don't really charge a revision fee anyway. We should, but we haven't been.
Noted.
Well, then there's that.
Oh, what a night to be having this discussion prior to the budget
Sure. Well, here's the,
conversation tomorrow.
in general, in the larger picture, we try to balance being, we want to have fees, but we also don't want to overburden people as
Right.
well.
We try to be
Feed people
user-friendly.
to death, so it's kind of try to strike a balance.
Yep.
And that's,
And to be honest, the changes that were made to that A&R plan we did, the last one we did, it was because of land court.
yeah, no, that's
It
a
was
fair
changes
point.
required by land court, so.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got you. All right, then the next one's the review fee, $2,500 plus $120 per lot, initial deposit. We're changing the language above for $120 over, for each lot over 3 lots from 5. No concerns here. Initial deposit now is $4,000, that's fine. Then we're removing $1,000, going up to $2,000, similar language here, and then getting rid of the review fee at the per lot, and then initial deposit of $5,000. So initial means
Just
that there's subsequent, and the subsequent is what?
Say it again? I'm sorry.
So in both of these sections, you're using language saying that there's an initial fee of this, but we're not describing what subsequent fees would be.
It's one fee when, in terms of the application.
So that's the peer review fee, so.
Oh, you're talking about?
No,
Yes.
I'm not. So I'm
You're
looking
talking
at
about the application fee?
the review fee. So that's the peer
Yeah,
review.
it's for the peer review.
Oh, for the, so they submit an initial deposit.
And then whatever the actual cost is, they cover the remainder.
Yeah,
Got
so
it.
what we
Okay.
do is, we send that out for come up with a scope and fee to see, and then they have to provide the balance of it.
Okay. Do we need language to communicate that better?
No,
Okay.
it's actually in,
I think we do have it somewhere.
it's already in there, hold on. a second. Gotta jump down to where
Section 2, application review fees.
Right.
yeah, that's a section.
Oh, so where are we,
So the fees come first, and then we discuss what the fees are about. Got it.
We could make another change to the fee schedule. You want to change the order, you mean? The sequencing of them?
Does make sense, or at least note that below is where you can find more details, but I would
Oh, the
say,
explanation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
See
because
section 2 would make sense.
What's that?
I think adding a note that says underneath the review fee to see section 2, which explains what it is, would make sense.
Just edit it.
Because you're effectively not changing the review fee, you're just
We'll
changing.
just change that. I'm not as, because it's your, yeah, it's not a substantive change, it's just directive in terms of,
Yeah.
we can make that edit. For sure.
Is it correct that, Rich, in the larger scope, looking at the amount of money bringing in on these review fees, you're not actually changing the review fee over time, you're just changing the deposit up front, they still have to pay the.
Yeah, they still have to pay
the
yeah,
full
still-
scope.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we're just increasing the deposit.
All right, then we have the definitive subdivision plans, similar changes. Then you're removing 2B which is each revision to definitive plans under review. And then similar with 3B, each revision to amendment, modification, or revision of approved definitive plans. Walk me through that one.
So in terms of the review fee, I'll start there. So when we so the X project comes in, we send out for a scope of service. Within the scope of service, they already built in revisions. So we'll have a round of comments, so there really doesn't, it's already addressed in the scope. So for instance, we'll have 2 revisions, 3 revisions within that scope. So we don't need to charge them another because it'll be in the balance that they have to make up. 4,000 in, let's say it's an $8,000 review. Within that full scope and fee of 8,000, there's revisions within there. So they'll make up that balance. So we don't need another $1,000. Could be more actually.
And then the processing fees, what are we talking about here?
That would be internally within the.
That would just, yeah, I don't see that.
Is there anything for us to actually coordinate that we're?
Not really, because, you know.
I mean, it's part of our process. We do it already.
Right, and under advertisement fee, there would not be an we wouldn't, that's nothing that we would advertise anyway, so that's not necessary.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got like literally like the projects that you've been before you, we'd be charge them every time we don't do that.
I'm good.
Okay, all right.
Then we have more review fees on the next page, then each revision to site plans under review. So processing fee, review fee, but similar situation as before. H, form of payment, that's just cleaning up who they're paying to. Observation fee, inspection fee, and that takes us all the way to...
So we added a fee for accessory dwelling unit.
I didn't see that.
Down at the bottom.
Yep, $1,000.
Yep, and then also electric vehicle charging stations. So we did not currently have fees for those items.
So, why are we doing 1,000 for the accessory dwelling unit special permit versus the 750 for the general special unit? Why wouldn't we just align them?
Special permit needs a hearing.
Which would be more expensive because then there's the notice in the paper.
Put it in the paper, yeah.
Right, they're actually responsible for paying for the legal ad, but there's more work involved
And the special permit,
in the special permit.
not the ADU special
And there,
permit.
don't forget, special permit is for 2 dwelling units.
Right, so then the accessory dwelling unit, as comparison, is less work.
Correct.
Special permit, but we're
Than a
charging
special
more
permit.
for it.
No, it was for 2. It was more for 2. Accessory, are you looking at the bottom line where it says accessory dwelling
Oh,
unit?
more than
special?
one ADU, 2 max.
Yes.
So this would be for the second one.
For the second one, yeah.
So again, why would, if they've already done the 750 for the first one, they're looking to do a second one, now we're asking them for another 250?
No,
We're asking for another $1,000 on top of this.
no, it would just be the straight $1,000. It wouldn't be the 500 and then the 1,000. It would be just, if they're applying for an ADU for 2 special permit, it would be just the $1,000.
Okay, so if they're just doing one, it's the special permit?
Yeah, no, if
No,
they're
just
just
the
doing
500.
one, it's site plan review, $500.
Where's that?
Up above,
Special permit is only for when there's more than one, so that, it might be the language that's a little confusing.
Oh, I'm looking down here at the schedule of fees.
yeah, if you just go up above that, that's
Okay.
where I have the accessory dwelling unit fee and the EV charging station.
So I see separate fee schedule. Well, see, I'm still confused now.
Okay. Are you on
I'm on this
So-
page,
page
right?
6?
Yeah.
Yep, so accessory dwelling unit, 1.
So you want to,
Oh, yep,
We'll scroll down so you can see. Color helps.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So accessory dwelling unit. Got it. Site plan review
is
applications.
$500.
500, yep.
And then below, see separate fee schedule, so if they're applying for two, they need a special permit. And then that's what's down below, and that's 1,000.
Got it, okay.
Okay?
So then why is that not included here in the schedule of fees?
What's that, the special permit?
The site plan review application fee.
That's it, what do you mean? It's right there.
Where is that?
Oh, so down below is a special
Is
permit
only
table?
special permit table.
Oh, okay.
Down below.
Yeah, the
Okay.
one below.
Got it, okay. I started looking at the bottom and confused that with what's going on at the
See,
top.
You worked up
Yes.
and bad. Don't do that.
Work down, please.
All right.
Don't skip ahead. Now, the larger question is 500. Now, what we did in terms of the 500, going into it, there is a little bit more staff work involved with ADUs, but again, we could pare it down if you feel 500 is.
If it's too excessive,
So, again, indulge me, because obviously I'm looking at this backwards. So let's say I start off with one ADU.
yep,
It's $500.
Yep.
I go through, I build it. I want a second ADU.
you gotta come back for a special permit,
For how much?
1,000.
$1,000 to get my second ADU.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you did them both at once, it would just be the 1,000.
1,000. Correct.
That's the part I don't get.
You did them both at once?
No. Well, I get
the
it if you're
two?
doing both at once.
Yeah.
5 and 5. Why, if I'm looking to add a second one, am I spending $1,000 as opposed to just 5?
You're duplicating the process.
So the
essentially.
bylaw, a second ADU in Norfolk on the ADU bylaw is a special permit.
Which right now is $750 on the schedule of fees, right?
Yep.
Which is still less than the 1,000. See?
No, I get you.
The fee doesn't match up, is that your?
The math is not mathing.
The math is not mathing, so we
We could have a match.
we could make it match and have the special permit for accessory dwelling units be $750.
I would do that personally.
Makes sense to me.
That's fine.
Okay, we can make that. I'm agree with that change. We can do that.
And then that begs the question, do we split the half on the site plan review application for one accessory dwelling unit?
Reduce that one in half.
Thoughts?
I mean, I
I
think,
don't follow you on that one.
Like if we're charging $750 for two, would
Yeah.
we split that for one and make the 5 instead of that be $375?
yeah, he's talking about reducing the fee.
Or we could do 400 and for the low price of
Right now-
$350, you
so
get a
right
second
now,
one.
our application fee for a site plan review is $750 is the basic.
Right.
So if we did not have this, add this fee
They'd already have to
schedule,
pay
they would be paying $750.
Right.
So they're actually
I get that.
getting a reduced.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of the ratio that was previously established between the 5 and the 1,000, and if we wanted to keep that or not.
You might be overthinking it.
I can
I
see
am,
the
absolutely.
justification of keeping it as 5 and 750, and then, you're almost getting like a buy one, get one 50% off by doing them together.
BOGO, I love it.
At the same
I
time.
love a BOGO deal.
Yeah. Well, it's not
It's not BOGO.
It's not a full,
BOGO.
no, it's buy one, get one, half
50
off.
Yeah, half off. And I think for, the reality is the amount of work that goes into it, I think 500 is a fair and reasonable price for the job.
Good? Yeah. All right. So we're down to 750 on the accessory dwelling units.
Made that change.
We're staying at 5 on the site plan. We've got 750. All right, now,
EV,
We had a
so,
sign special permit too. Well, yeah, we did.
the EV charging
EV.
stations, I threw out 500 per unit. I don't know how everybody feels about that.
That's per freestanding unit?
Yeah.
And this is something that is for commercial use.
Commercial use, yeah.
And so this is if they're not doing one as part of a new construction and they want to add one to their existing facility.
Yeah, so for instance, if you put an EV charging station in with a site plan, like together, it would be incorporated into the site plan. This really gets to ones that we've had at the car wash.
Like if the homes decided to put one in over there.
Right, like we did the two at the car wash, we did the two. at
Right,
the
or Daley's decided to put one in,
Yeah,
it would be
when the building-
$500 for them to do that.
Right. That's what this is talking about.
And this is essentially for the work in the office, right? Because then the electrical permit is separate.
That's separate, yeah.
What do we actually have to do for a single EV charging station from an administrative standpoint?
Yeah, because like the one that we did at the car wash, that would have been $1,000 right there, because they
Yeah.
did two.
Right.
I feel like we should be encouraging these, not
Right.
charging $500 for everyone in town.
What if it was 500 per site? So that if you wanted to put in multiple charging stations, you were just paying for your site and not for the station?
Yeah, is there any additional cost on the town side for multiples?
I don't think so. It's the same site plan review, right?
Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, doesn't mean that you put two in, it's double the work or anything like that, so it's
Right.
not incremental that way. We could,
I like the per site.
So do $500 per site? Is that what you're thinking?
That still feels high to me.
It does, especially if they're just
feels
looking to
high?
do one, right?
Oh, because they still have to do the electrical inspection as well.
Right.
Right.
And again, I feel like this is something that we should be encouraging, not, discouraging with a.
Do you want to cut that in
outsized
half
fee.
and say $250 per unit?
Meet me at 2 and you got me.
it is a commercial enterprise here, though.
It is commercial.
I know
They're
it's a
making money
commercial
off of it.
enterprise, but, I mean, unless you're telling me that it's really $500 of administrative work to do it,
Yeah, it does, that 500 seems high. I'm just, do we
I'm not gonna
do?
go as low as 2, but I
Two
could.
seems
I could-
Meet me in the middle,
I could do
225.
250.
$250?
Per unit or per site?
I think he's talking about, well, I don't know.
Well, can we do a graduated fee? Like between 1 and 5, it's $250. Anything above that is $500.
1 to 4, 250, above that 500.
That seems fair.
5 and above 500, deal.
Deal. How do y'all feel?
That sounds good.
Sounds fair.
So 1 to 4, 250?
1 to 4, 250. Anything above 5.
Well, I mean, one of the questions I was gonna ask when we got to the end of it, I'll just jump to it now. Has the town finance department sort of taken a look at this and thought through like level of effort on the town versus the appropriate cost?
I mean, at the end of the
From
day,
an
though, this additional
administrative
fees is above and beyond what is being paid anyway.
I'm sure they're gonna,
It is supposed, the fees are supposed
they're gonna say
to cover
whatever
the
we.
administrative fees.
I'm gonna go what we
I think-
recommend,
I'm not
actually.
sure
We
that
did
they-
comp it compared to other communities too, so
Yeah,
just
I
should
did
say
that.
at the onset, so we didn't, I will say we probably didn't, I don't know if we've seen other EV charging station.
I can't remember now, because I had done a whole cost analysis of a bunch of surrounding towns, but that was probably at least a year ago.
If you wanted to, we've been at this for a bit, so if you wanted to, like, we could revise it, just continue and then we come back with our
Yeah,
comps.
I mean,
if you
we don't
wanna.
have to close, we don't have to close
I mean,
it.
it's not like, if you're not comfortable, you know what I mean? Like,
I just want to make sure that we're grounding it and not pulling numbers out of thin air. So if you do have comps
I do,
that you
I
can share,
actually,
then
I did a
Yeah.
spreadsheet.
I think if it's okay with other members
Yeah.
yeah, we
continuing
could
it.
continue to June, and then we can bring in the comps and you
Well,
can
what
take
kind
it.
of prompted us to bring it back, because we had been looking at this for a little bit, and then I think we kind of,
Well, the biggest
Got
thing
busy.
actually was the
Yeah, we got busy.
ADU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we got the application for the ADU.
And it brought it back up,
which is in
yeah.
front of you tonight, and, I didn't really have a fee, so he
Right.
gave me a check for $750. I said, I'm gonna hold this until we're having a public hearing tonight, so
And do we have like the unilateral authority to just raise our fees? This doesn't have to go through.
No, it's you.
Yeah,
You
it
is
does
what-
not have to go to
about
town
that?
meeting.
No,
Oh, so we could, yeah, okay.
yeah. So then, yeah, well, I think it makes sense.
I mean,
We can-
technically, if you really wanted to, we could approve the ADU one tonight, so you can settle that and then come back with comps
Yeah,
for the
we
rest
all
of
agree
them.
on
Yeah, I'd like to do that in the signed special permit too, because we had not been charging. Remember, we changed our sign bylaw?
Yeah.
So we hadn't been charging for any application fees for signs.
Well, we were hoping
I
to
thought
help
we
the small
requested
business
150,
owners.
didn't we?
I guess we did.
What's that?
I thought we were looking at a 150 fee for that originally.
I don't remember. I proposed 200.
It's been so long, inflation has gone up
I know.
200. No, I was kidding.
I'm fine with the 200, to be honest, for the signs. I think we've done enough to allow that grace period as
Right.
well, so.
I think the grace period was extended
gracefully-
beyond what we originally thought.
We've been encouraging them. We just haven't got a lot of,
For the internally illuminated ones.
Yeah, the last one we did, we tried to ask, we said, oh, you sure you don't want to do internally illuminated?
Yeah.
What are you replacing
That's
your
all right, as
sign?
long as they have lighting on them, you know, so you
Yeah.
can actually see the sign.
sure, yeah. So you can, so you're gonna vote on just the ADU piece of it?
And the sign special permit, you good with the sign special permit, or do you want,
You put the language together, and
I mean, it sounds
I'm
reasonable.
good with that.
All right, well,
And then we'll look at the rest with comp comparison, and then I would just ask to, like, you know, whether you talk to the finance department or not, just really make sure that the level of effort is being covered in these numbers.
We can, you know, we can do
Labor
that.
hours aren't cheap, so let's make sure that they're covered appropriately.
Right. Okay. So, to summarize, Chair,
Yeah, I'm just reading this. So what I'm seeing is that for some of the towns around here, commercial EV charger being added to an existing approved site, a full site plan review is usually the wrong process to be quoted against. Most of these towns have other paths in order of preference, it's the electrical permit only, if it's truly accessory and no real site changes. So for us, it's parking. Is that the concern?
what's that?
The EV chargers for commercial.
Meaning for
Commercial
us to be
enterprise.
involved.
And then administrative site plan amendment, and then full site plan review only if you're doing meaningful new pavement structures or stormwater changes.
it's almost like a limited site plan review.
Yeah, so the ones that, just the two that you've had thus far, they've been existing businesses. One's a medical building, and they're adding EV charging stations. It's there for them.
So there's also Massachusetts.
They're making money out of it too. It's not a,
So the 3 to 5K full review fee is the worst case anchor for a typical L2 or even a small L3 install on an existing parking field. Most towns get you out for an electrical permit, $100 to $300, plus possibly a minor site plan fee, $250 to $750. Massachusetts has an active push under Dewar's model bylaw to classify EV chargers as accessory use by right with 30-day expedited review. So if a town has adopted it, full review is essentially off the table, which we're not proposing a full review.
No.
Okay, so we're well within standards of $250 to $750, and then the electrical permit, $100 to $300. What are we doing for electrical permits these days?
Depends on the value usually. Well, for building it does.
I don't know that.
Not our area anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so I like our approach with the 1 to 4 to 250, and then anything above, I'm good with that. If we want to propose language, do 2 separate votes, or do you want one singular vote for both?
I think
Do you want to see the comps though? I think you want.
what we were just talking about was doing a vote now on the ADU and the sign special fee.
Oh, leaving
and
the
then-
EV charger
and
out.
then
Then we'll
continue the
continue.
rest of it to June,
Yeah.
and where we can talk one more time through the comps, and make sure that we're all comfortable before voting the rest of the fees.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Just need a vote.
You want to
Need to
propose
vote
it?
to adopt the
Yeah,
fees for the ADU.
I'll make a motion to adopt the ADU and sign special permit fees as amended in the fee schedule proposal.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes.
And then we'll just continue that to
All right.
June 9th.
And then I need a motion to continue the public hearing for the proposed amendments to June 9th at 7:45 or 7:30?
So moved.
Which one? Hold on.
7:45.
7:45, yeah, we did.
7:45 PM.
Yep, we
On June
did
9th.
the pickleball court at 7:30, so
Okay.
7:45.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, hearing none, we are all set. All right, we are a little bit late for our Off River Road Leland Wild Foundation public hearing.
This is a new hearing. so
New hearing?
either
Are
need
you waving or?
Waving or reading?
I know what Dan's vote is.
I say read
I
it.
think you've had enough time to.
All right, notice of public hearing. Notice is hereby given in accordance with Mass GL Section 40A and the Norfolk zoning bylaw Section 310-6.11. A public hearing will be held on Tuesday, May 12th, 2026 at 8 PM in room 124 at the Norfolk Town Hall, 1 Liberty Lane, Norfolk, Mass, regarding a site plan application for property located off of River Road in Norfolk, Mass. The applicant, Leland Wild Foundation of Norfolk, Mass., is proposing the construction of a nature center, including access drive, parking areas, and tree gardens. The applicant is also requesting a special permit for the use as a nature center and a Scenic Road Act hearing for the removal of trees within the street right-of-way for an access drive. The property is located at the R2 zoning district, reference assessor's map for Block 13, lots 44 and 45. The application and plans are available for public inspection on the Town of Norfolk website, or in the office of the Norfolk Planning Board during the hours of 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Thursday.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. All right, Rich, do you want to give us a little preamble and then introduce who we have here?
Sure, in terms of tonight, we have Beals and Thomas representing Leland Wild. The peer review hasn't been done yet, so that will be in process. As I mentioned earlier, this is being peer reviewed both on behalf of the Planning Board and the Conservation Commission. They're before the Conservation Commission for a notice of intent on public hearing. The idea is to introduce the project, get the board's feedback, and I'm sure there's members of the public here that would like to
Opine on it.
opine on it.
All right, awesome. If I could just ask you if you grab a microphone real quick, that way we can have the folks online. Introduce yourself and project.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Andrew Gorman from Beals and Thomas. I'm joined here this evening with Paula Thompson from Beals and Thomas, who's on Zoom, the project engineer. We also have Kyle Purbish, the executive director of the Leland Wild Foundation, Susan Siegel of Return to Wild, Jacob Goodboy of Masters Touch, Seth Holden, the project architect, and Kevin Baldwin from Ethical Tree Service. So we have a very rich project team that we're excited to present this one to you. So the project site is the former Norfolk Airport. This is the Leland Wild site. It is privately held, but it is open for public use. Some of you may be familiar with the trails that traverse the area south of the Charles River or west of the Mill River here. The prominent site features include an existing runway with a north-south orientation. And our project is primarily focused around the northern side of the property off of River Road. Paula is going to pull up sheet C301 on the overhead so we can look at this in color.
Yep, so I'm controlling this one, and Paula is doing the Zoom. So we've kind of got them in two different spots, and you said sheet C...
301, yep.
301, okay.
Is that one colored?
Mine
it's
is
the
not
aerial
color, but Paula's is color.
Okay.
Yep, so that will help us visualize a little bit more in terms of the existing site features, so it should be a little bit further down. These are our topographic survey sheets. Yep. Yep,
Getting there.
right here, the next one.
Perfect.
So here on the big screen in color,
Mine is
we have a
in
lot of different colors and line work, and I want to kind of explain what some of those mean and how we arrived at the decision to site what is going to be a proposed nature center on the northerly portion of the property. Some of these dark, bold lines with the vegetative hashing on them, those are bordering vegetated wetlands, so the site is very heavily regulated from a Conservation Commission standpoint. There are wetland resource areas in the form of those wetlands, as well as riverfront area, which we'll see on the next sheet, associated with the Charles River and the Mill River to the east. In addition to that, it's kind of faint to see, but Natural Heritage maps a significant portion of this property as priority habitat. It forms a U shape around the property.
We're just pulling up the near map image, which is
Okay.
a little bit better than the plan.
So for those who are in the audience here, the priority habitat follows the property in a U shape. So as we went to design this project, we took into consideration where the most effective place to site a nature center for use would be. We wanted to avoid wetland resource areas. We also wanted to preserve as much of the open field habitat as we possibly could. So eventually we landed on utilizing the existing impervious runway as much as we possibly could to minimize disturbance to what is bobolinks nesting habitat in the fields, as well as minimizing disturbances to wetland resource areas. Obviously, complete wetland avoidance is not achievable, so we are seeking permission from the Conservation Commission, which we were before them last week on the 6th for work within the floodplain, for work within the riverfront area, and within the buffer zones to wetlands. So the near map image here has the runway shown. And I'm just going to point to that for a moment, because I think this is a great visual. So our project locus is generally the northern area here. This median strip is also currently impervious, as well as where these pine trees are growing out of. We're going to get to those in a little bit. That is also some trees that are sprouting out of concrete. Our site entrance is off of River Road here to the north, and I'm going to pull up that plan sheet for us to see what that looks like from a planimetric standpoint. So again, this is a nature center with a wildlife rehabilitation component situated in the northern portion of the property. I have some regulatory constraints from conservation highlighted here in color, but primarily our primary structure is a nature center on the northern stretch of one runway, trying to confine it to the existing impervious surface as much as we possibly can, in association with proposed wildlife rehabilitation use under the umbrella of the nature center are these pre-release structures to the immediate west here. For stormwater management, we have bioretention features 1, 2, and 3 here, and we have some additional stormwater management strategy that I'll get to in just a moment. In terms of existing conditions, the public is able to access this property both through parking on Miller Street and off of River Road. Currently, there's no off-site or on-site parking on River Road. Cars are forced to park parallel to the road up here. As part of this proposal, we're proposing 10 dedicated spaces for public use. They'll be gated off from the interior nature center over here. 2 of those spaces will be accessible, and so people will be able to access the all-persons trail that functions as the runway now. The parking lot circulation for the building will have a counterclockwise orientation here, with 23 parking spaces, 2 of which will be accessible. We have some additional site features like some wildlife pollinator habitat over here. And in addition to that, as part of our stormwater strategy and general conservation practices, we will be reducing impervious surface. This is sheet C405 within the runway. So the eastern side of the runway, we're going to remove approximately 200 or 20,000 square feet of impervious surface. This is the easternmost stretch of the runway. The runway itself, the outside of that, will maintain its existing surface, so it will continue to function as an all-persons trail. In addition to that, this median strip, which is currently impervious today, although there's some blue stem and other grasses growing out of it, this median strip is this entire area is gonna be converted into a pollinator meadow. So that's 109,500 square feet loss of impervious surface in here that's gonna be converted into a pollinator meadow. So going back to our other sheet, sheet C402. We have, again, our stormwater features here. We have some rain barrels that are going to help us with some of the watering of the plants, and I will pull up our planting plan. So as you can see in the near map image, this cluster here of vegetation, these are pine trees that are growing out of the impervious surface right there, so out of the cement. With the help of Ethical Tree Service, we're going to relocate some of these pine trees and shift some of them over here. So we have a pretty robust planting plan in terms of our stormwater management rain gardens, our pollinator area here, our plantings in relation to the enclosure structures, and we're very excited about this project. I've never worked on something that's had this much creation of pollinator meadow habitat. It's something that's very unique and can be achieved on this site. So we would like to invite the board to ask any questions.
Thank you. Valerie, considering your background, any questions?
So the total removal of pavement was 120,000 or 130?
I believe it's and Paula, the project engineer, is on the line, so it's 129,500,000. Is that correct, Paula? She's nodding her head.
What seed mix?
129,500, yes.
We haven't arrived at a seed mix for the pollinator habitat yet. That's going to be, we believe, spec'd out with Ethical Tree Service, but if the board wants some preliminary information, we could certainly provide that. Targeting native species, this is a great monarch butterfly habitat, so it's probably going to include milkweed.
Sure.
Yep.
Is there any plans for invasive species removal while you're at it?
I don't believe while we're at it, but there's ongoing invasive species removal on the property, which Kyle could probably speak to. And Kevin.
Oh, here, I've got a, just turn that on. Here you go, you're ready to go.
Thank you. It's on, it's on.
Kevin Baldwin, Ethical Tree Service. I was actually trying to pull up the, I had a couple of wildflower mix, seed bulk mixes sent to me, but currently we're leaning towards Lesko's Northeast U.S. wildflower mixture. I need to find the actual sheet that the supplier sent me, but it had the highest ratio of healthy and non-husk. It's actually sorted and predominantly seed. We've had a lot of success with that. And then invasive removal work, Ethical has been doing 3 winters now. We've worked on the the western border, closest to Tailwind Circle and south. We've worked on invasives, specifically bittersweet and somewhat grapevine. We've also revegetated the spaces with natives, various shrubs, perennials, and trees as well. I have a deal with a couple of wholesale providers that give us the end of the year stock at a significant discount, and we're able to pass that on to the client and comp some of the labor as well. And then in the center of the runway, there's about 2 inches of asphalt in the grassed areas as it stands, so the plan was to strip all the asphalt out and thus removing whatever organic is in there. There's not a ton of invasives in that space. It's mostly sedges, and there's a handful of, sawtooth aspens and a little bit of Russian olive, but we've worked on the autumn olive, Russian olive throughout the time. And then the plan would be it's going to take 3 years to really get the wildflower meadow going. So we would partly put in the seed mix that we determined for the meadow side once we strip the asphalt, and at that point it would help with erosion control, and then reseed annually, if not twice a year. And we've had I own a farm in Plainville, and we've actually taken parts of that farm and turned it into wildflower meadow as well, and we're on our second year now, and it's probably 70% coverage. So it does work. The actual best method is using hydroseed. They suggest that for preventing erosion and the birds from stealing our seed in the process. So
Birds got to eat too.
yeah, they do. But
like
we also want to make
expensive
sure
seeds,
it's not bare dirt. Are pretty further over, so I'm not worried about the roots being able to establish themselves. We would be handling the water on behalf of the clients, so there's not going to be an expectation of water burden, because we need to actually move some of those trees in advance of opening it up for the digging and the foundation work. So that's the plan. The hope would be to do that in the fall and get shovels in the ground before the year end.
That was going to be my next question, is how you're going to water the seed mix in the trees when you transplant.
I have a lot of systems and food safe tanks that we would bring in and handle that on behalf of the client. But the majority of the time with the wildflower mix, if you use the hydro seeds, it really, and timing it into dormant season, it basically establishes itself through the winter, and then you do it again in the spring before it starts to grow again, and then usually that gets you pretty good, and especially because it's going to be between the two runways, I'm not worried about pitching and major erosion in the process, because it's going to be relatively flat and about 1.5 inch, 2-inch drop off the lip of the runway. Both runways, the hope is to resurface, mill and then resurface the runways to make it more accessible, getting rid of the cracks and the weeds that are growing through. And then at that point, they would be pitched in either direction in the center, about 10 feet with a 1-inch drop to make it ADA, or keep it ADA compliant. And so I'm not worried about major washouts or rain events. Again, it's pretty sandy in between.
Kyle Probish, 23 Leland Road, and Director of Leland Wild Foundation. I just wanted to add, I know it's not on this plan, but I did talk to some neighbors yesterday as well, so I just wanted to go on the record and share what I shared with them in terms of, we will be working to provide some privacy screening over here too. If I can see, particularly for neighbors over in Tailwind Circle, so they aren't just looking at a parking lot. Obviously, that's at our expense and our pleasure to do. I'm a neighbor on both sides, and every step of this project has been, what's it going to feel like to have this in the neighborhood? So not everyone thinks just like me, but I guess I state that to let everyone know that if I were looking out on it, I'd want to see trees too. So not only that, I immediately had a conversation with Beals and Thomas, had a conversation with Kevin, started talking about how do we put something together that's at various heights so that we can get over in that property and see what it looks like. So just wanted to share that since we had a conversation about that yesterday. So we'll update those plans for future through conservation. Thank you.
So we are going to be going through the peer review process with Beta Group, as was mentioned. So we anticipate that the plan will evolve throughout the hearing process, but those plantings will be in addition to what you see here and on the northwestern side here once we finalize what that looks like to protect the view shed.
Awesome.
Sorry.
I just have to,
I'm still Kyle. I didn't hear what you were saying, so I'm sorry if this isn't well timed, but another misconception, just for anyone that's listening and just for the record again, there was some thinking that this whole parking lot area here was back here on this, where Norfolk owns that lot. There's some extra parking near the memorial. I don't know if you all are familiar with where that is. But this is, anyone that uses the property comes in off River Road right now to walk. It's over here. So it's not, nothing's over here. There's also some rumors that all the trees from here to here were being removed. I don't think I've removed a tree yet, except invasive species. So that's not part of the plan either. But anyway, just some things that were going around. I thought for the record I'd state.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
And Kyle just answered all of mine, which were the
Yeah,
rumors that I've
I
been.
appreciate it. All right, opening it up for questions from Zoom or anyone in person.
So I'd like to hear a little
Hold on.
more about.
We need a microphone. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Cynthia. Is that on?
I think so.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Cynthia. I've lived in Norfolk for almost 40 years.
Address?
Priscilla Ave, right behind
Thank you.
us. Yes. I'd like to hear a little bit more about the actual building itself and how tall is it? Is it foundation below? How is it going to affect the river right across the street? I know that I've talked to my neighbors. A lot of people have these questions. So.
Is there,
So I might invite, if through the chair, I might invite Paula Thompson to give us a little bit of detail on the size of the building, and if we need, we can also invite Master's Touch to speak on it as well.
is there a plan, a good plan to show, Andrew?
For the building?
The building? I don't know if there's one that would.
I think that these show the...
I'm sharing on Zoom if everyone can see this.
Oh, good. Thank you, Paula.
You can see that.
I don't know.
So the areas are listed here on the front page of the build. This will be part of the building permit set. The first floor is 5,100 square feet, and the second floor is a little bit smaller, about 4,900 square feet. There's some balcony space and some covered patio space on each of the sides. The building is not a deep foundation. It's going to be I guess a shallow spread footing foundation, and it's raised up above the floodplain elevation. And we received our variance from the ZBA to build this in the floodplain, but our first floor is going to be above the floodplain, about 3 feet above floodplain elevation, to protect everything constructed.
What's the total height of that building?
I need Master's Touch to answer that one.
Jacob Gadbois, Vice President, Master's Touch. So complying with local zoning for commercial buildings, our peak is at 40 feet.
Thank you.
Can I just jump in for 1 second? For any neighbors or people familiar with the property, can we throw that back on just real quick? I didn't know that we were showing the center tonight, so anyone that's wondering, that looks like you drive into a parking lot and there's the center, just for orientation. That big, beautiful front is actually facing down the runway in the pollinator garden, so back of house looks a little bit different, but just for anyone that's trying to put this plan together, if you've been on site, the view you just saw is facing this way, so you're looking down the runway.
From the balcony or from the front where we saw those stairs going up?
The median strip.
So the stairs will be at the...
Yeah, so if I'm standing on that porch, I'm looking down the runway, looking down the runway.
The runway.
Yeah, exactly.
The road, Leland, right? Leland.
Yep, looking down the stretch of the property, yep.
Paula, could you pull up the west elevation just for the neighbors so they can kind of see what they're going to see? So this one is facing south down the runway. That's the view we just saw in 3D. This would be the east towards the wetlands. And then this would be from the parking lot from River Road. and then this side is what the neighbors would see. On the right side there, you'll see like a little porch at the bottom there, and that's where a lot of animals are kept for viewing of the public inside at some events, and invitation only, but that's kind of what that is. But the absolute peak is at the 40, and then it's 2 stories of, first floor. We've got some event space for fundraising, and then the vet offices and intake and et cetera. Second floor, about a mix of the same.
For what it's worth, and I'm sure there'll be many more questions over the course of various meetings, but that whole side that faces Tailwind Circle is sort of, that's volunteers, that's my office, that's Susan's office, that's rehab space, that's back-of-house space, that's not activity, fundraiser, that's not a loud side. Not that the other side's going to be loud, but that's all sort of business as usual. Nothing sort of what you see is what you're gonna get. And when Jake says that's a side you'll see, yes, you'll see, but you'll see a lot of privacy screening as well. So
through the trees.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the side
so
facing.
you're not going to just see the whole building.
100%. Yeah. Thank you.
As far as number of events you're expecting on an annual basis?
Oh, I don't have a number, but I'll tell you this. Like I said, I'm a neighbor on both sides. I don't want things happening all of the time. There's a reason why there's limited parking, and we'll get into that further, I'm sure. But that farm gate is because we don't want that many people there every day. My whole hope is that we are reconnecting people with nature and really sort of inspiring next generation environmental stewards, getting in there to learn about the wildlife in our community. There's a little bit of wellness component because there is a lot of mental and physical benefits to spending time in nature. So we hope to sort of share that and show that. If you have 1,000 people out running around, you don't get that experience. So this was very mindful. I think whether I lived in the neighborhood or not, I would not want to overrun it for doing what we're trying to do. I hope it's something that's so fantastic it gets replicated somewhere else, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, we're trying to limit parking in that way.
Awesome, thank you.
And number of events, I didn't answer you because I don't really know, but it's because we haven't even built it yet. But yeah, we'll have. I mean, there's enough room for a school bus turnaround. Are we going to have 6 buses coming through every day? Absolutely not. I imagine sort of a biology class coming out and doing a vernal pool study or something like that. So being honest as I can on that.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Any other questions from the board or otherwise?
I'll say a quick one.
Question from Zoom.
Whoa. Hold on one second.
John Griffin, 55 Bazilla Ave. I just wanted to come in and support for this and let you know that I'm a very big fan of the wild. It's been an amazing transformation watching it happen real time, and I just want to let you all know that, not that it means much, but I'm really behind it.
It means a lot, thank you. All right, we had a statement from Zoom.
There's a question from Zoom. There's a few neighbors here. Pranit Machira, River Path.
Hold on, can you introduce yourself and your address?
Sorry, can you hear us?
Yes, can you introduce yourself and what address you're from? And if you don't mind.
Pranit Machira, 7 River Path.
Awesome.
Dan Healy, 5 Clark.
Thank you.
So, to begin with, we appreciate the idea of a nature center. We're also longtime residents in that area. We use that space very often. Our kids have learned bicycling there. We've done a lot of hiking and walking. So we appreciate the idea itself. Just had a few questions. The first one being, I think that area has a lot of dark sky. And so I was wondering what kind of lighting are you going to have in the parking area and the building? I know it's a nature center, so I'd expect a different answer, but we just want to know what kind of lighting is going to be there, what's the timing of the lighting, and how is it going to affect the dark sky and the darkness around the area itself.
If I may respond, Mr. Chairman, and Paula can assist with this, we are exploring entirely dark sky compliant, which means that the lights will be facing downwards towards the pavement, and we're in the process of finalizing that as well. Paula, is there anything you want to add to that?
One of the requirements of the planning board is that we provide a photometrics diagram, so we are working on selecting the fixture with Kyle, and then we will be providing that for peer review.
What about timings? When will be on?
So just to add one more thing for the board, we would very much appreciate the board considering letting us not light as much as you normally would require a commercial building to be lit up. This is conservation property, and it's all about wildlife, and lights are not good for that, and they're obviously not good for neighbors either. So we would appreciate the board's consideration in that.
I just wanted to add one more thing. So this was Leland Wild LLC, and then it became Leland Wild Foundation, and it was Leland Wild LLC while we were figuring out what we were doing for liability purposes. So I am the first one. I am super hyper vigilant. I think about liability all the time. So we need some sort of lighting. We need some. We are respectfully requesting as little lighting as possible, because it's the best place to stargaze in town, in my opinion. It's incredible. So I want enough lights where if we have some sort of, event, let's say, or anything where no one's going to fall over themselves getting back to their car. But if I'm, and this is a conversation I have with neighbors as well, if I'm in my house over at Tailwind Circle, I don't want to look over and see a parking lot light. So to answer the question online on Zoom, I don't know all the rules and what we have to do yet. But if we can control, I don't want in my perfect vision, I certainly don't want to look over and see lights. I don't want them on at all hours. I imagine they would be on some sort of timer if we had to have them, and I want them as low as we're allowed to have them. So I don't want anything to mess up the experience of stargazing over there, and I also don't want people falling when they walk through our parking lot. So I'm doing my best there.
Thank you.
And can we follow up with that, or?
One last one.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yep.
No. So with regards to lighting, we appreciate you looking at it. It's not just for the stargazing on the property as well. Depending on how many trees are removed from the front on River Road, there are houses there that would face and have windows in that direction. So I think if the lights were to be on beyond a certain time, that could affect quality of sleep and all of that. If you live in that area, you would know that. I think it's pretty dark, and I think most of the neighbors appreciate that, and we like it that way. So that's something that I think the board should be considering in the project as well.
Yep, absolutely.
That's it about the lighting. We do have follow-up on other stuff, but yeah.
Can I say one more thing?
Yep.
Just the last thing as a neighbor. So I don't know if you're familiar, but the new house, 6 River Road, that's my house. And so I'm the closest, and not that I'm doing it for selfish reasons, but just to reassure you, I don't want to look at lights either. So 100%. So whatever we can do to keep them at a minimum is, I promise you, that's our plan.
Yeah, and we've got standards by which it's got to apply.
Thank you.
The only thing is life safety, and as far as like fire department and what their requirements are, and police as well. Anything else?
Yep, I'll just add that we're trying to disturb as narrow a stretch of trees here as we can. It's strictly for the site entrance and what we need for our site distance here, and through which we are requesting the scenic road permit. But we're, again, trying to minimize as much disturbance to the wooded areas as possible.
Okay, awesome. Noting that we also have Beta's peer review pending, and we're a little bit behind on our schedule, I'm going to look to have one final statement or question, and then
we have another question from.
Hold on, we've got one in the room.
Hi, this is Cynthia again. The other thing that I'm a little concerned about is the actual construction time, and lots of deers out there, lots of animals out there right now. What's going to happen to them, and that house that was built way up on the hill, that overlooks the lake there, lots of trucks going up and down Priscilla Ave at a high rate of speed, too fast for all the little kids that are in that neighborhood. Concerned about how construction vehicles are going to be in there, what the site is, how long is it going to take, those kinds of issues. I know the neighbors are concerned, and I'm not against this project.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned, and that sort of that whole site construction, length of what happens to all the animals there now, those kinds of things.
Yeah, and all great questions, but we're a little bit early in the process to be delineating schedule or communicating anything like that, but we appreciate the concerns. One last comment from Zoom, and then I'm going to look to get a motion to continue this.
Thank you. What is we didn't find it on the plans. What's the plan for the surfacing of the parking area? Because I know it's a floodplain and there are rules in that area. So how is it going to be surfaced? Is it going to be gravel, asphalt?
I'll let you feel that in a second. I believe there's some nature bylaw that speaks to parking specifically.
There is,
it's connected to that.
It's crushed gravel, I believe, is what. But this is still going to go under Beta's review. They're going to make recommendations based on what you have, based on the storm permitting process as well. So whatever it is now doesn't necessarily mean what it's going to be several revisions down the road. This is just the beginning of a process at this point. So
right. I'll at least add that whatever we're doing in the parking area, I don't know, maybe Paula, for a future meeting, but compared to what we're removing along the runway is, I would think that we're adding less than what we're removing. But.
All right, so I'm going to look for a motion to continue the public hearing for Off River Road Leland Wild Foundation to, is the June meeting too early? Or is that good?
We would love to come back in June, so hopefully the beta peer review will be initiated by then and we can respond to their comments.
Okay, so 8 p.m. on our June 9th meeting?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? All right, hearing none, thank you so much. We'll see you at the next meeting. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we have our 8:15, a little bit behind schedule right now. This is 6 Old Populatic Road.
I was going to give you a hand.
This is a site plan review to convert existing detached outbuilding into an accessory dwelling unit.
Because nobody cares about that.
I care, and that's why I'm here, okay? He's cleared the desk. I'd love for you to join us up here. But if you want, we can give you a microphone in the interim. You can introduce yourself and the project.
Yeah, sure.
I know it's not a public hearing, but do we read the notice? Public meeting into the...
read the notice unless you waive it.
Or you could just plop up.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
We're just gonna...
You don't need the microphone over there. Just sit down. Oh. Hang out. Introduce yourself, where you're at.
We have a notice.
Well, unless you waive it.
Yeah.
All right, motion to waive it? Motion to waive the reading.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? All right, hearing none. Motion's carried.
My name is Joe Paleologus. I live at 6 Old Populatic Road, and my hope is, or the goal is to convert. We have this existing, like two-story called an outbuilding. We want to convert the second floor of that into an ADU.
All right. So this is our first one.
First one.
Thank you.
Yeah, Joe knows.
These are.
Yeah, so you can see, yeah, it's this building right here. It is basically there's beds in there right now. It is already a space that we have friends, stay there. It's just not, ADU. It's not a, fully,
Sure.
right. It doesn't have all the requirements, so that's the goal.
Okay. And then with regards to what we have required or requested from an ADU perspective, this isn't something that Beta would review to make sure that they're meeting guidance or anything like that. How do we do this?
That's a great question.
Well, I have You have a copy of the bylaw in your packet.
Does it have sanitary?
So this actually is unique in terms of this area, because it's going to be on Franklin Public Sewer and Franklin Public Water.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There is a sewer connection that already exists in the barn. It's just capped off. It was, from whenever, before when we were there. And there's water in there because we have a hose, it comes up from our house, runs underground, comes up in there because we have a hose, on the barn. And so it would just be, we only need that cold water connection because we're going to do a on-demand water heater in there. So don't need any new services. Yeah.
You're not worried about septic capacity, which is good.
Yeah, right.
And those might be one of the few ADUs that's on sewer that will have,
right?
More or less, yeah. But
that's what we heard, and it sounds like we're really lucky, lucking out with that.
Yeah. It's unique in terms of it, it's an existing structure, non-conforming, so. We do have the building commissioner. I don't know if you want to say anything.
You want to add anything?
Good evening, everybody. This is a project that we originally had brought into us. My local went out and inspected everything, and code-wise, we're going to have some work to do with Joe to get it up to par, but under the Massachusetts new ADU laws, an existing structure like this, pre-existing non-conforming, right up against the lot line, it is allowed by right. Our bylaws just currently do require a site plan review as the formality here, so this is why we're at this process.
All right. So very similar to an A&R, we can make recommendations, but we can't require them.
Yeah. How many square feet?
It's about 15 by 20, 300 square feet. It's about a 15 by 20 space.
On the second floor?
On the second floor, yeah.
And what's the first floor?
It's the same. You mean space-wise, or what is
what's the use?
It's like it's basically like a garage minus the cars. It's just storage and a workshop area.
Okay. I don't have any questions. Anybody else?
Nope. Not really. It's cool that we have an ADU.
I know. It's the perfect scenario. I mean, never mind the septic, but just having, or sewer, but having a building that you can actually put something in already without having to build it from the ground up.
Yeah,
It's great.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%. All right, looking for a motion to approve the 6 Old Populatic Road ADU.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, hearing none, thank you for your patience, and I really appreciate you.
Okay, great. So just to clarify, the next step is that it'll
work
get
with the
approved in
building
the thing, and then I'll talk to the building department, and we'll work from there?
You're done with us.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a decision. I'll have them review it, approve it, sign it, and I think you're good to go.
And then you're back to Dave.
Sounds good. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thanks for your
appreciate it.
time.
All right.
So on this topic, Rich, in the future, I think it would be good if we had some sort of like a checklist
All right, thanks, Joe. Have a
that
good night.
accompanied these when they came in, and that checklist could say like, 1, it's existing by right, nothing for us to do, just needs to approve it. 2, it conforms to these things, it's non-conforming by these things, or whatever, right? Something that's just makes it easy, kind of like an internal beta review.
Yeah.
But like very lightweight, just if we create a template or something, maybe that's something one of us can take away from this. We can throw the ChatGPT the bylaws and say, make a checklist for us to look at site plans. And then it can have that checklist and we can just check it as those come in and we can have that for review in conjunction with the plan.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Awesome, cool. Whew, all right, 8:15. Everybody good? We need a break?
I'm good.
All right. So I'm going to leave the town meeting preparation for the end. Rich, can you take us through the Chapter 40Y starter home zoning discussion?
Sure. So Chapter 40Y is a bylaw that the town can adopt whereby you can allow there's a size limitation in terms of the house could be up to, look at my notes, I think
1,800.
it's 1,800 square feet. And the density is programmed at 1 unit for every 10,000 square feet, roughly about 4 units per acre.
4 per, yeah.
And what you would do is you can designate specific areas in terms of where you could allow for the creation. So they could be detached, they could be attached, so there's options in terms of how the homes could be constructed. There is there's not an age restriction on them. There is still an affordable component to it in terms of the 10%.
So it stays aligned with the 10%?
It stays in line with the 10%.
And do these have to be purchased units, or can they be rentals?
It could be rental.
Okay.
But the thought process behind it is that it provides homes that are not really being built necessarily in a lot of our communities that within our region and others, in terms of the homes that used to be, in terms of from stick built, in terms of up to 1,800 square feet. So could serve people entering into the housing market and people downsizing as the housing market. I did mention it's not age restricted either, so.
Yep.
There isn't a, with the exception of, you can provide housing up to, I think it's 110% median income. So that's one of the things. So that's kind of the big overview. The idea is to take, now that you have the zoning committee, is to then.
We have a zoning committee? Right now we do.
Yeah, right, as of tonight, and take and identify some areas that might be suitable for that type of development, particularly around, generally speaking, we want to have it more where it's concentrated around commercial areas, not where there's not as much infrastructure, because you will need, again, we don't have sewer, but you're going to need municipal water to be able to serve those. So it's a good opportunity to create some new housing in terms of that I think is needed.
So this isn't something that's by right that...
This is by right.
Okay. So this could go into any zone?
You have to designate.
Is there a requirement
it's
for...
it's finally a carrot, not a stick.
Yeah.
Is there a requirement for any of this? Like how many square or parcels or whatever we designate, or square footage we designate?
No, in terms of a minimum, in terms of area, no, there's not a minimum necessarily. I will say though, there is as you adopt a district, depending upon the potential yield, there are incentive payments associated with that for one-time creation of the district. And then for units that get built from the district, there is a $3,000 incentive payment that comes to the town. It's really that companion to 40R, you probably remember, where it's more, that's on the multi-side of it. This is more primarily single family, however that may be shaped out in terms of dwelling units. But it certainly, I think in keeping obviously with some of the objectives of the master plan, but also the housing production plan as well, provide some housing choices. So the thought would be that we give it consideration, look at locations and then work towards putting a bylaw. I would say probably the spring of 27.
Okay.
As the overall goal to do that. And we certainly can go, you can start however we want in terms of how much. You could always come back and add to it too, so it's dynamic too in terms of it's not just, you could add to it essentially, if it makes sense.
Okay. Any questions?
I think this is really cool. I like it conceptually.
Yeah. It also makes sense Because if you think about, like, we've had the conversations before about like, when a developer has one parcel of land, you have 1 acre, you can build one house. So you build the biggest house, like the most square footage that you possibly can. But if you can actually take that one parcel that you own and divide that by 4, that is like nothing for cost for land, which is amazing. I mean, there's more cost, of course, because you're doing 4 individual houses, but it's still, you divide that cost for that land, and it's like, what? The average cost is like $350,000 around here for an acre. So divide that by 4, and you're getting the best use of your money.
Yeah, great. I think it's a nice new vehicle. All right, 40B, comprehensive permit.
So we will, the residents of Pond Meadow has been submitted. The first public hearing is next Wednesday evening.
Is this the one that's where the diner was?
No, this is out on the Franklin line.
Currently.
So it's.
Oh, this is the one down by Cantor. Got it.
City
Okay.
Mills.
Noted, yeah.
Pond. Yep.
Be possibly impossible, possible.
The one entrance going in.
Yeah.
I'm going to this one just because I got to see I just
Did you have to see the meeting?
A person behind this try to explain it. I just have to see it. I was going to go too.
You already did comment in terms of mass housing initially, so those comments will be incorporated to it, but this project feels it's a little bit of kind of how this is going to work before maybe having you weigh in a little bit further on this.
Like, they have to figure out the basics of how it could possibly happen.
That's one. Yeah.
It's a start.
It's an important part.
Do you think this is a scenario where they know that this is way out of the realm of possibility and they're just proposing it that way so that they can shrink it down, or they're really trying to do this?
Honestly, I don't really know. It's kind of it's I don't know. I wish I could tell you. It just doesn't seem like, because it's kind of a unique situation in terms of comprehensive permits and how I look at them generally, right? And over the years, it needs to be feasible so the people who live there at some point, makes sense for them to live there.
Right.
Like, from an economic it just doesn't seem, just for the public, if they're not tuned in, there's no public water there.
Wetlands at the wazoo.
There's wetlands there. They're proposing attached buildings, so there's a whole fire protection.
And then stormwater.
And there's stormwater.
There's egress and egress.
They're proposing a packaged treatment plant, which I know you're pretty familiar with because you have one that you live with.
Yeah.
In terms of the capital cost to build one, and then then the operational cost, it just doesn't. I don't know. I'm a little bit. It just doesn't seem. So, I guess I would say tune in, and then we'll kind of see how it goes. But
yeah, I just think we, sort of the universal we here, a lot of the times see the 40Bs and are like, it's out of our control. This one I would use every lever possible to push back on, because it's egregious, is my view.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't. I don't know.
Is it even feasible?
It's dumb.
Right.
It's just, I think public.
And I thought you guys put it like the letter that went in put a good marker to start. Like,
it was a good marker. I think I was really kind of probably significantly disappointed in terms of, like, I heard that we take we kind of look at the feasibility of these projects and so forth and so on, and that's what's baffled me, how this, in terms of the density based on, and it's also in the zone 2 too, so in terms from a wastewater standpoint, they're going to have to address tertiary treatment, so it's down, I don't know, it's
It's a lot of challenges.
a lot of challenges.
So
So
I'm
tune in
interested.
May 20th.
Yeah, tune in.
Yeah.
I've already gotten messages about it. I'm like, this one's ZBA.
Yeah. So.
Or reach out to Rich McCarthy. Here's his phone number.
Thanks.
No, I didn't do that. I haven't done it yet.
Oh, good. So that one's next week. What else is on this list here?
And then we have the 5/13/2026 annual town meeting preparation. So
yeah, we should probably.
Gary's all prepared.
Ready? You prepared?
I mean, I literally just
All right, next topic.
took Rich's work on a PowerPoint and redid it on the train ride home, and I think it looks good, but I'm not going to look at it until tomorrow.
Do you want to share with the class?
Yeah.
All right.
It was Rich's. Oh, you wait.
Is this the Gary
you at the-
version or the Gary version for print?
Oh yeah. So all right. So some context here. Tomorrow we don't have a projector, so we'll have a biggish TV on the stage.
Anybody who wants to come by and borrow mine and bring it to the school.
But all right, so I'm working with what we were told by Rob, our town administrator, right before we started this meeting. So he asked. So I said, "Oh, we could have a version for print." He's like, "All right, it needs to be quick and it needs to be 8 pages or less because that's just the way it works. We're going to do it double-sided and we'll get it out." So the for print version is the 8-page version of that. The presentation one is the full 12 pages, really only, I mean, the core information's all there, it's just missing 2 slides. I was trying to take what Rich did and kind of revamp it in the style that Melissa created years ago now, like at least 2 years ago with the, I feel like blue is a comfortable color that everybody likes.
Yeah.
And then just really reiterate the story as to, oh God, now I sound like I'm at work. Really boil it down to why, what's the benefit, what's the goal, right? How does this align to other things like longstanding incremental changes that we've started to implement in planning board in the last couple of years? And then also, how does that align to the master plan? So yeah, here it is. It's up on the screen. So this would be the presentation. It's a good blip. It's a great blip. It really is.
I thought it looked good, Gary. I think also just what it's making sure you hit what it's not.
What it's not.
What it's not.
Right. And I wanted to make sure we call it a couple of times what the protections are. What are the guardrails? This is by special permit. This is not by right.
And it does not increase height.
Right. It does not increase
It's for
height.
a very discreet area.
That's why there's a slide. So the slide I work the most on, there's one that says, it's just like, it's the number 46, right? And I did the 46 in a style like it's climbing. It's like height. Like 46 remains the height. Like this is not changing. This table is like, what is actually changing, right, and how it's changing. So all these things are either not changing in the terms of number 3 building height, or only changing by special permit. So right now by right, building footprint's 15,000 square foot. By special permit could be up to 30,000, but that special permit goes through the planning board, right? And we would consult with design committee and Rich and everybody else to like, is this a good idea? Should we consider the special permit? Same thing with stories, same thing with units per acre. And then the bit about consolidating the special permit process, so they're just going in front of, they're just going in front of the planning board, and there's not this, this race condition where it's like, all right, well, this special permit we can grant, but now you're going to ZBA.
Right. Simplify the process.
Yeah, so keep the context and the authority confined to the planning board. This is going to be the biggest question. It has been already. It's, 46 feet. It's the same as today. What's changing is the stories. If anybody has any, I don't have to send this off to Rob until tomorrow morning. Rich pulled these pictures already, so I just reused them. This is what it most likely would look like. I think the next slide has the better, that's like more, oh, maybe it's not. Maybe the first slide's better. I actually
Do we have to use this?
I changed this.
The Franklin one. Do we have to use that?
I changed this graphic. I might not have done it correctly. But I have a easier to read version of the graphic.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah, so, because
Less busy.
I love our zoning map. It just, if you don't have it on your laptop with a PDF with infinite zoom, man.
Yours is in there?
I thought so, but I don't know how to use the Google.
I think maybe, Melissa, this is what you were just saying too. I would maybe just have the two examples on that one
Yeah, I
slide.
don't like the other two.
I think when you get into the other two, they actually start to look, especially that one taken from below, that building probably looks bigger than it needs to.
So
Like maybe
next-
we're good with
next
just
slide
So
down.
remove the next slide
7.
one.
Yeah.
I think 7 starts to look like.
Just keep it simple, show the two.
Yeah.
Here's what it looks like at fourth floor integrated
Especially
into
since
the
230
same
East
height.
Central is 44 feet, which is 2 feet lower, but it looks massive. in my
Okay.
opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look.
Well, the
nice.
other thing is the one on the right is actually the one in it's in Foxborough, not Franklin, but, so that's not good.
Oh, well, listen, I did this on the train.
No, I'm just,
But this is what the review's for, so thank you. And yeah, to the point, like, let's get rid of that one.
all right, this is what we started with, though. See, I know it's really kind of bland.
That's a nice blue, though.
Look at that blue. Come
That's a
on.
nice
Well, the
blue.
gradient
How many
fade.
words are on
I
that?
mean, can we talk about?
I know.
That's
I
like
know.
HTML
To be fair,
2.0.
so this was not because your style is bad. We have a consistent format that we use every
I
time.
understand.
It's also story-based delivery, right?
Okay.
So this,
Look at that.
all
though.
the work
See,
I
you
did,
can-
by the way, is just reconfiguring what you did.
Yes,
All right.
just pulled it into the other template.
Yeah.
It's okay. The only thing I kind of like, it's all right. But I will say, the value of this, is that it shows it's a false roof, so you can see how it's, from the street view, you have the fourth floor integrated, you see how
Okay.
that's probably a little bit too much.
I don't think anybody's
Yeah,
gonna
most
care about
people
that.
aren't going to care.
I care though.
We could.
I think there's
care, but
probably
that's
5
important.
people in town that
It is
care about
important.
that
It's
detail.
important.
It's important of the whole idea of.
It's important,
All right.
but I think like
Yeah, but anyway, all right.
Moving on. Anything else for this one?
The general gist of this, though, we feel comfortable with. I mean, I drew
You've
the short
embodied
straw
Rich, yes.
to get to present it.
The only other thing, Gary, I think when you talk about it goes through a special permit, just emphasizing that includes like a public comment process. You know, that's not just like a
Good point.
unilateral decision by the board. There's a whole public notification, public comment process that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Followed.
I think I did call that out, but I should make it more
Bold.
bold. Yeah, so the last slide before you get to the thank you there's the built-in safeguard slide. There's 4 of them, and the bottom left is public process preserved. Every special permit application includes a public hearing where neighbors and residents can weigh in. So let me find another spot earlier on where that fits into as well, so that we're saying it at least twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe even there say like special permit preserves public process or something like that, so that there's something there just tying the special permit itself to that. I mean, that's kind of wordsmithing, so I'll stop, but,
Preserves what? Public process.
public process or something to that, just so people know what a special permit actually means.
Okay.
You probably, in that respect, you probably should say a special permit allows the board to say no. Legally
Well,
is
that
a
too.
framework.
Well, that too.
I mean, that's,
right, it's not guaranteed. It's not a
It's not-
guaranteed yes.
right, so there's the, kind of the base level, which is by right, but some of these provisions are special permits, so you can say no.
Maybe you add a 5th box that's just special permit, and it says it includes public process and allows the planning board to deny the project.
Yeah. Okay, so a special permit allows.
I don't think you need a 5th box. I think you can just.
Yep, I'm
bake
putting it
into
in
the
the
public process.
yep. Special permit allows the planning.
So for tomorrow night, we have 80% attendance for the planning board?
I wasn't gonna be there, but now I will. So if you need, I wasn't, but now I will.
I'll be there.
I know you're
Out of the country.
I'll be there assuming the train runs, but if it's broken, I'll Uber.
I'll be coming back from Newton at 7, but I'll be there just late.
Do we have like a posted meeting before, like we've have before, or not? We didn't.
Not for this one, no.
Okay, cool.
No, we didn't do that.
If I can make it, I will, but as of right now, I'm a no.
Oh, sorry, the only other thing, and this is a note at the top of my page, so I wouldn't forget it, and I did. Rob came over and he said we need to explain why the article changed. So the verbiage on the warrant, which I have at home because it's printed, is different than the one. I can figure that out, right? I think that's my question. That's dumb enough for Gary
Explanation?
Sullivan to understand and think of an explanation on the fly.
So the warrant was printed before we made our changes.
But they're just not stylistic changes, but like
Minor.
word flow, grammar changes.
So do we have to do a friendly amendment?
Yeah, it's gonna be a floor vote to change it.
That's already been walked through with the moderator. I think his comment that Rob relayed to me is we should be ready to explain why the article changed.
Got it. Okay.
So,
but you have the wording and everything already?
Yeah.
Is it written up?
No, I'll just think of it on the fly.
Carrie's
Might
been
wanna
like
go
that.
and- that way you can impress Carol.
No, he had, I mean, the actual art.
Oh, the verbiage is already written, sorry.
No, I know the verbiage is written.
The advisory.
The friendly
piece.
amendment.
Rob has the friendly amendment language.
Okay, he has it, so Gary will just submit it. Okay.
So, you have the public hearing, March 25th. The warrant, you submit back in February. So there was.
A timing issue.
There was a timing issue in terms of when you had the public hearing in March 25th. There was the other article for which you ultimately decided it's not ready. So
some of them did. I did.
Some of them.
To clarify.
The board, as a body, decided it wasn't ready. So
giving me PTSD.
You'll see if you haven't already looked at your warrant, there's a lot of pages for something that you're not going to be voting on.
Yes.
Because of the timing sequence in terms of the select board had to finalize the warrant. So
I think a lot of people don't realize the timing. We have to pull in the date so far back to get the warrant printed, so it's.
So I'll just
it
explain
doesn't
that
quite-
part,
Yeah, it's
and-
just a timing issue.
Gary's gonna just let it rip.
And this is really only if
Their article
asked.
pass.
This is really only if he's asked. Or is he going to be proactively asked why?
he's going to be asked.
Okay.
He has to answer actually, because why do you need a floor vote amendment to it? So yeah, it's a must thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take the early train home, and then I'll make sure I'm.
Yeah, take the early train.
I'll just come up to you before and make sure that whatever I've written is correct, and then.
Yeah.
All right, and then let it be noted that you've done your obligation at town meeting yet again.
Yeah, I feel like I need a cardigan and like a chair. And like, I just pull up the chair, I'm like, all right, folks, it's time for zoning changes again. And then like kind of, like a
bad
Mr.
it's-
Rogers type thing.
Won't you be my neighbor?
Your shoes
Yeah,
off.
because I think I did one and you did one at the last one. Or it was the one and the one before that. Have you gone up yet?
No, and I was gonna offer to do this one, but then I was supposed to be in New York City, but now I'm not.
Got
so.
it. So we've got you two up for the next couple town meetings.
Great.
Just
Can't wait.
get ready. We like sharing.
You ready to do it together?
Mail, do you guys like hate mail?
Bullpen? Like in the bullpen? Yeah. Excellent.
I'm okay with it.
If Gary, slips and falls on his way home from work tomorrow, I'll be ready to jump in.
Gary can't slip and fall. He was just put back together.
Yeah, I did show up at a town meeting.
That explains the
with
Humpty Dumpty
the whole
tattoo.
leg
Yes.
boot and crutches. Yeah, which is awesome because it was like super quiet, and I tried to sneak in, and then the crutches fell, and then the door slammed. I was like, great.
That's a dedicated planning board member right there.
So we'll have to, so we'll have printed versions or handouts.
Yeah, so there's an 8-page version of that, and I'll switch it. So I'll you guys trust me and just make some changes on the fly and then send it to Rob.
So Rob's gonna have it printed?
He said send it to him.
Okay.
So
That's accurate.
Okay.
True.
Anything else for
So
the
an
When do
8-page
you,
version.
I mean, you have a, when you can get it to Rob, you think? Timing?
Tonight or tomorrow morning? Do you want to see it first? I can send it to you.
No,
And then you can
tomorrow,
send
I
it
mean,
to Rob.
tomorrow.
I'm up at I'm on the train at like 6:13, so I will be.
Probably when I arrive here, I'll be here. Okay, excellent.
What do you need from me, Rich?
What are you not saying right now?
No, I just need it tomorrow. That's all we need tomorrow.
Okay. You don't trust me.
I don't trust you.
Oh, how about this? How about if he just, he can copy you on the email to Rob so that you know
Yeah, I'm
what-
definitely going to copy.
Hopefully they didn't make a whole bunch of copies of stuff that are thrown away, that's all.
Oh.
Yeah, Rob did look at me nasty, so maybe they did, but
That's all right. We have to be
presentation
agile
is
and
key, and it's
adapt.
not my fault we don't have a projector.
Oh, no, I totally.
Yeah, that was
I
kind
said
of a
I'd pay
curveball.
for it.
I'll drop it off at Town Hall tomorrow if you want.
They have them at the library.
The building
have
inspector wrote,
resources elsewhere.
Betsy, there's a projector in my office in my right side overhead cabinet. Not sure if it works or everything is there.
I know that I have one that works and has everything.
Well, we're not going to solve that in planning board.
All right, we'll offline that, the projector thing, whatever, like, I don't know what the.
All right,
That's out of our.
just saying.
Oh, this is
Just saying. All right, fall special town meeting, some zoning bylaws. Want to discuss at this hour?
No. No, because.
The zoning bylaw review commission is for?
That's right.
All right. Any other updates? Oh, you did it again.
What?
You looked at Betsy.
I just looked at the clock.
I thought you looked at the clock.
No, I was looking at the
Okay.
clock.
The only thing I have is we did do a decision for 6 Old Populatic
So we've been signing that.
ADU. It's in your packet.
Have to change the clerk on it, though.
Yeah.
Now I have a signature page for all of them.
With the. Oh, it's all.
I don't have to
Okay.
change it. I don't think.
Oh,
I have
yeah,
to
okay,
change
all right,
anything.
good.
If you want to take a quick review and then you can vote to approve that. And
Sure.
sign it.
That's throw.
No, I think, everything's it's been a very good, productive meeting. I appreciate your time, and I don't have anything else to add for.
Make sure we fill out the survey on the way out.
I got a question,
Okay.
unrelated to any of it. If we're done, if we're open to other business.
Is this a meeting question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unrelated
Whatever
to
happened to 28 Longmeadow?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we're just like, we're going in hot on enforcement, and then everybody forgot about it.
Well, now we have a
and
building
the person's
commissioner,
never going to
so
be
it's-
accountable for.
DPW.
Oh, DPW, that's right.
TPW.
No, we don't.
We don't.
We still don't have somebody to enforce
And
it.
so that's what we're waiting for.
So can I make an amendment on the floor tomorrow and just say, like, we need this new line so that somebody else can become the interim DPW?
I don't understand how there's not like, somebody doesn't have like delegated authority as the acting DPW commissioner or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
let's put that in the
Why wouldn't the
bylaw
town administrator
tomorrow.
have that?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Why wouldn't the town administrator have that
Why would they not?
authority?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stormwater bylaw is, the enforcement arm of it is through the DPW department.
But there's got to be somebody
Select board?
signing something for the DPW director for the past 9 months, right? Like, there's got to be somebody with his delegated decision and signatory authority.
There is.
And that person owns 28 Longmeadow, so they don't want to.
No, the person doesn't. You have to, the whole enforcement ticketing process, it's like literally each offense is a ticketing process. You have to give them a ticket.
Well, that seems inefficient. Can we just consolidate that?
It's by statute, so it's kind of a,
Statute or bylaw?
no statute.
Here's my concern, okay? Somebody in the future is going to say, oh, should I go to the appropriate boards and jurisdictions before I clear cut all this land without a stormwater permit? Oh, no, they could never figure out how to enforce on that last egregious act, so I'll just go do whatever I want, and they'll never get their act together to enforce it.
I'm right there with you, Dan. I think we see that in town already with a bunch of different things, so.
Right.
I don't disagree with you. I don't know. I mean, I don't have a good answer, because the system is not well suited for this situation. I mean, the DEP attorney has been, they haven't, because they're involved as well.
The like environmental task force, with the AG's office and stuff.
Hasn't got to the AG's office?
Or the strike force, I mean.
Hasn't been, the strike force, I thought they were, not for contamination.
No, it's for any environmental violations.
That's a real name of a team.
Well, let's talk about it. Maybe you can educate me and I can, maybe
you and I can talk and we'll come back for an update in the next meeting.
Sounds good.
Yeah, because I'm not, yeah.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Any other updates?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I can't think of it. Yeah. Oh, you take your survey, did you fill it out?
I took it. It was long, but I took it.
It's long. All right. That's it. No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, 2026 meeting schedule, typically second Tuesday of the month. We've got June 9th, July 14th, August 11th as our next 3. Any concerns with those dates?
Not at this time.
Nope. June 9th is fine. July 14th. I will be here. August 11th. Nope. So all right, so next 3 months we're looking good. And then there's no unanticipated new business in front of the board. All right.
Do we need to approve that ADU decision before we adjourn?
If you would.
Can we review it?
Yeah, there's a copy in your packet. And the original's like right there, ready for you to sign. And I've also got 2 plans for 8 Sharon Ave and 9 Shire Drive for you to sign.
Looks good.
Any questions, concerns? All right, hearing none, looking for a motion to approve the site plan application decision number 2026-0346 Old Populatic Road.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion's passed. Awesome, thank you. Valerie, I hope that was painless for your first meeting, and looking forward to your continued service on the board for the next 3 years.
Motion to adjourn?
Moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? All right, hearing none. Have a good night. Thanks.